and one of them
No.
was something like instead of elections, he said erections or something.
Yes. Yes, he did. Hi, welcome to Texas Tough Chicks. This is Gwen and this is Viv, and we're glad you're here. Um, I would say happy Memorial Day, but it's not really happy. It's a time to reflect and have appreciation, honor, and respect for the ones who died for our country. So I would
Yes.
say I hope you're having a honorable and respectful Memorial Day, and we're happy you're here. If it's your first time, welcome, and if you're coming back for your poison, we're glad you're here also. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Memorial Day. I saw a lot of great memes, and I threw out some today myself, and obviously. Me and my husband were out doing some exploring. I'm taking a class out of state, and so we decided instead of deal with the bed bugs and the people's dogs, fleas of the people who come and sleep with their dogs in the hotels, that we just have our own space. And sorry for the air conditioning if you can hear it, but it's a little toasty, humid where I'm at. So we're running
Oh, it was
that.
toasty here today.
Mm-hmm.
102 here. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Ouch.
yeah.
Ouch.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I put out a lot of memes today because I feel like we really lost our way with the Memorial Day thing. Um,
Well, it's just like again, what happens? What's all the advertising? Come in for the Memorial Day sale at so and
mhm,
so, and get your
right.
this, and barbecues and everything like that. And I don't
Hmm.
think most people even know what Memorial Day is about. You
Right.
ask the man on the street, and they don't know. This is the day to honor the people who gave the supreme sacrifice of their life in service to this country.
Yes. Yes.
And most people don't even know that. And that's why they go, Happy Memorial Day. It's well,
Right.
no,
Right. Like it's party
no,
day. It's barbecue day. One of the memes I sent out
no.
was a little boy being handed the flag from his father's death, the American flag, and the
Yes.
really sadness on his face. And it said, just in case you think that Memorial Day is about barbecues. And it was like, oh my gosh, it was so good because there's people, there's individuals, but there's families that have given
Mhm.
everything for our country so we can have the
Yes.
freedom, and actually, believe it or not, so we can vote in the kind of idiot president we have right now in office, so we have that freedom to vote. And
Right.
it's, I mean, and to have different opinions and to not worry about uh, being persecuted or prosecuted for those ideas. And unfortunately, right now, it seems like our country is upside down and our government's going after um, its own citizens, which is unfortunate. Um, but people died.
Oh,
People
yeah.
died, put their lives on the line. And yeah, they're not volunteers. They get paid. We have soldiers that get paid, but they don't get paid very much. And it doesn't really matter because
Mm-mm.
they still sacrifice their lives
Mm-mm.
and limbs for our country and our freedom. So regardless, I mean,
Right.
a basketball player gets paid millions, and the guy who's got going out there and killing the terrorists isn't getting as much as the basketball player. It
Well,
doesn't make
some
sense.
mm-mm. And something I heard today was they said the radio guy was saying so many people talk about this football hero, and he goes,
I
I
know.
don't consider
Ugh,
athletes heroes. I said, I
I
don't
don't
either.
either.
I
How
said,
are you a hero?
they're not
Because
heroes. They're not
you're playing a
heroes.
game. And yeah, when you
Right.
show up at a hospital, you got cameras with you. So you're getting
Hmm.
publicity for that. That's not a hero.
Right. And
Mm-mm,
the
yeah.
hero is the guy that's willing to stand in
Mm-hmm.
front of a bullet
Yes.
for the sake
Yes.
of this country and
Hmm.
his fellow countrymen and his. So yeah, that's a
Right.
hero,
Exactly.
not some
Exactly.
athlete. Yeah, that's what we need to say is and bless the families who are
Hmm.
suffering from the loss of a family member.
Hmm.
I didn't I've never lost a family member in the military. I know people who have.
Yeah.
I know people who came back from Vietnam.
Yeah.
They didn't kill them, but it killed a little bit of their soul.
Right. So
yes, today's meant to honor the people and say thank you to them who are trying to keep this country free. A lot of the news lately is proving that our country is not free and
right
we are being invaded. And that's
from
horrifying stuff I
within.
learned this week.
Hmm.
Yes. In case you haven't heard, people, the government is paying NGOs to bring all these illegals in. They are paying for the invasion of this country. And it's millions and millions and millions of your tax dollars that's being done. A little story. I heard about this, that the US government is working with NGOs to bring in millions of illegal immigrants in. This it was a former Border Patrol agent spoke with whistleblowers inside the NGOs. His name's J.J. Carroll. And he said he talked about Jewish family services, Lutheran family services, Catholic charities, the Save the Children, all these NGOs. And what's happening is the government sends them a check. And they were talking about in a 3 to 6 month period, he was talking about a Jewish family service that's got $600 million. That's one
Oh,
NGO
oh,
in a
what?
3 to 6 month period got that much money. So you think about how many thousands of NGOs are, and then the subcontractors underneath them. What happens is they're taking that money, they're providing clothing, food, housing, transportation for these illegals to get them farther into the interior of the United States. There is no questions asked. There's no accountability. If the NGO comes back or one of the subcontractors under the NGO comes back and says, hey, I need more money, they contact the government and they just send them another check.
Oh my.
So,
And
and they said the UN is collaborating on this too.
of course, of course. Well, let's look at two
Yes.
things that are happening here. So number one, this is the reality of like, getting money. Okay. So they get millions of dollars. And how much do they actually put towards getting the people over? A fraction of that. But the rest of that goes into their organization. So they have a motive. There's a motive for them to take that government money and increase their own
Right.
organization with that money. So whether they have a
Mm-hmm.
moral compass is irrelevant because they just want to
Mm-mm.
take that money. It's like free money to them to be part of this
Right.
cause, right? And then they can increase their
Well,
own
yeah,
organization. And
that's
the
what he
other
said.
reason
This is
is votes. Let's just say it what it is. It's getting the votes
well,
in here into our country.
that's part of it. But the guy that was doing the interview said he thinks it's way beyond that now because the UN is also making sure that now 50 to 70% of the people that have come in or are coming in are military age men. Do not stand there and tell me this is for the American people.
Right.
I wish you would choke to death on those words. I don't care who
Right.
you are in the federal government. When you say those words, I wish you would choke to death on your words because you are destroying this country and it is by
Exactly.
design.
Exactly. And
And
basically using me as a citizen to further your cause by
mhm,
saying it's for us. It's like you're
right.
lying and then you're using me to be part of the problem that you're creating. And I despise
Mhm.
it when people say, I'm doing this for you, or we're doing
Oh
this on
yeah,
its
yeah.
behalf or whatever. It's like, bull. I think
Uh-huh.
what's
And no,
equally difficult is to hear them lie about it all the
oh yeah.
time. I literally, I don't know if you saw our current president say anything about Memorial Day, but I literally could not. I could not bring
Oh,
myself to even listen to him.
I caught a clip today and it made me sick. Okay, it showed him putting the wreath on the tomb of the unknown soldier, but he had to have the military guy hold it and carry it to the stand with him. He was shuffling, barely
Yeah.
holding it.
Hmm.
I've never seen a president do that. It's always the
Hmm.
president carries it, puts it on the stand, and then he salutes. Joe had to have somebody help him even just get it onto the stand, and then he put his hand over his heart. He didn't salute. He didn't do. It's like
Oh. And he
what an incompetent
salutes
buffoon.
children off the stage. I mean, he salutes the air most of the time because we pretty much know he salutes now when he doesn't know what he's supposed to do. He just does a salute, like kind of like, I don't know
And he's
what I
too
should be doing
feeble.
right now, so I'm just gonna salute.
He's too feeble to even hold the wreath and
Right?
get it onto the stand.
Oh my
And I've
goodness.
been to the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. That place is so special.
Yeah.
And he just desecrated that place as far as
Mm.
I'm concerned.
I just can't take it. I really can't even,
mm-mm.
I can't, I feel like, when I'm watching him and I'm noticing all these things like the shuffle walk and the
Mhm.
bumbling and the constant, like the ignorance of our own media to even pick up that he doesn't say sentences like that. He just says like these like weird words, like word salad, like what we look for in dementia, right? And
Mhm.
I when I watch this and I'm like, I'm just observing this, but all those countries, Russia, China,
Mhm.
all these countries that are really, even though they say they may be our ally, they're really our enemy. They're watching
Oh, of
this and
course.
they know
Mhm.
this is a very, very weak, fragile government we have right now. And I'm sorry to everyone that, we've been kind of out. Part of this was that I have this class and it's a full-time class. The other part of it is that we did need to kind of pull back a little bit because we have someone who is actually um, kind of messing with our channel. I just think this
Mhm.
is silly. I don't even understand, like,
Yep.
and
Yep.
because we're not saying the right things that someone wants to hear, but someone, and so pulling things back a little bit and then reintroducing, and we're going to try and see if we can kind of restart and get this. I've notified
Mhm.
YouTube about some of the things that we've noticed with the views going backwards. We start to kind of
Oh
accumulate
yeah.
and then the number goes backwards, which is impossible.
You mentioned Russia
Mhm.
watching all this, watching our inept, totally
Yes.
anti-American president. There's another story that came out about, I don't know if you heard about the shooting in North Carolina outside of the Special Forces officer, his residence.
Mhm.
And they figured out it was two Russian illegal
Yes.
immigrants
Isn't
who
that
said that they were
insane?
utility workers, but they didn't have any sort of ID that showed that they worked for this utility company. They had no uniform, and then they traced it back to the company that they supposedly worked for is owned by the Russians.
Yeah, and it's so
So
off our
there
radar.
again,
The Russians are so
uh-huh.
off our radar.
This is a mess. I can't. I said I just wait. Every day it's like, okay, what's the next shoe that's going to drop? What
I
other bomb? And
know.
literally, I'm waiting for the bombs to start going off because that's coming next.
I
That there's going to
know.
be some major 9/11 style something happened. Don't know where in the country. New York is rotting, so it's probably going to happen there. And then just other craziness going on. The New York governor was doing stupid stuff. Again, they're going to pay people
Surprise.
to house these immigrants, and what? No,
Why don't
that's one thing that they said that one of his speeches that they went back and they took out and they redacted like 9 different words, and one of them
no.
was something like instead of elections, he said erections or something.
Yes. Yes, he did. I love that too. That was so funny.
Yeah, he's a piece of work.
He is a piece of
All right, so everything is nutso bonkers right now, and the hits just keep on coming that we have to deal with. So you people, we are Texas
we.
tough.
Oh yeah. It's
Everybody needs to get Texas tough
Texas
because
tough.
it's just starting. Like I said, this NGO thing just the amount of money being spent just blew me away.
Yeah.
And to know that our government is paying for our demise.
Yes. Yeah. And
If you don't get that, wake up, wake
let your
up.
friends know, don't send them like big long things like pages and pages of information. Send them little
Mm-mm.
snippets and stuff, like help to inform other people that are
Right.
like-minded, get them informed of what's going on, because I think a lot of people don't know about, and what we say, NGOs, non-governmental organizations. So these
Mm-hmm.
are not, the tax-paying money is going to a nonprofit organization, and you know, it's just like tons of them. So they're basically lining up to get their free money to extend their own organization. So we need to inform our friends and our family of this. And we love having you here. Sorry we haven't been here for a couple of weeks, but we'll see you next time. And
We will.
Thanks for being with us.
Thanks. We'll see you next time.
All right. Okay, well, I'll cut that out. I don't even remember where I was going with this. Think of it, I'll have to cut that out. So,
that's okay.
What was I going to say? It's going to make a good point. I can't remember what I was going to say. I hate it. My husband puts in these like, sorry, I'm getting off again. You can tell.